Welcome back to our beginner guide. Enjoy.
Which there's one over here. There's, if you can find one closer to your base, or if you know there's one near you, I don't suggest opening that up, and you're going to find out here why in a second. So before we go into the caves, we're going to check our miner hat. We have our torch, but let's go down and see if we can get some good light bulbs. So going over into the forest is probably not the best idea at nighttime because of obviously different types of spiders that can attack you and different mobs. So if you are venturing over there, make sure that you don't see anything along the way. And as you can tell, at the beginning of spring, things are we're starting to get cold. It's raining a lot, and that's why the umbrella is coming in very, very handy. As we continue to do so, because we're going to really need to have that umbrella on a lot during spring, and it's going to become worse and worse and worse as time goes on. You're going to start to basically yell and say, like, why is it raining so much? Like, I wish that it was winter time. So as we open up the sinkhole, we're going to go into the caves. Now, as the sinkhole is open above ground, there's going to be bats that show up. So that's why you do not want to be opening up the sinkhole next to your base, because if the bats are near your base and consistently annoying you, they're going to come out and they're going to be consistent. They're not going to, there's no way of replugging up that area after. So as we're into the caves, the first thing you want to do is the cave entrance that you go down, take your trusty fire pit, if you have a pre-built one like we did before, and put it down. And you're going to want to be cautious about what you see here, and that is your bunny men. Now you might get lucky where you see some bunny men right away, or you get unlucky and you don't see them, but sometimes it's unlucky to see them. And if you're carrying around a meatball on you and you're next to a bunny, or any sort of meat for that matter, these rabbits are going to attack you. Handbats do not count towards that, so for now we're going to just act as if we don't worry about them too much. We're going to get ourselves some awesome healing, and we're going to focus on getting ourselves what you see here, which are one of the best items in the game for renewable resources, and those are light bulbs. Now, if you're already down in the caves before this and you know about light bulbs, that's okay, but I'm going to show you another trick that these light bulbs, why light bulbs are so awesome. We're going to get as many as we can, and we no longer need to use fireflies, because fireflies are non-renewable upstairs except for a certain position. So you're going to want to make sure that you're going to be resorting to fireflies up above ground just temporarily until you get into the caves and you're able to focus on getting yourselves light bulbs. Because like I said, fireflies are good. It's just that you don't want to be using them consistently. Now, as you go into the caves, you're going to see many different things, but don't get carried away with venturing around the caves, because the caves are a very dangerous spot to be in, and especially during springtime and winter, going deeper and deeper in the caves is not a great option. Now, summertime into the caves, that's a whole different story, but we won't get there very first. So right now you can see yourself, we have a blue mushroom tree. Now, mush trees, I'm not going to really talk about them right now because I don't really want to focus on that. I want our focus to be purely and solely on finding more light bulbs. So that's going to be my goal. But if you do manage to chop some down and you can see the different things that you get from them, so be it. But for now, my main focus is, like I said, getting light bulbs. So that's what we're going to do. So we're looking around to see if we can find a light bulb field, and you're going to have to venture around until you see the orange floor, which you may or may not see, and you might just have to get some light bulbs just that are spread out periodically. But I don't really suggest getting those because they do give you a little bit of light. So if you can avoid picking them if you have to, that'd be great. And because we're going to be trying to get more than just, we want to try to get more than just 6 or 7 light bulbs. So we want to get like 40 light bulbs, and soon it's going to be easier to get that once we find the area. And like as you continue on and venture down, and I think I already see the orange part. Oh, that looks to be another area where a little swamp. So if you do want to pick up, as you pass by the 3 ones, you can grab those, because those are going to be an easy way of stacking up your light bulbs. But it always is good to just leave them alone, because if you when it goes to nighttime again, the light bulbs will give you enough resources where you can enough light so you can just stand close to them. So this is actually a very, very, very large light bulb forest. I'm surprised at how big it is. So normally you don't actually encounter gigantic light bulb forests like this. I mean, sometimes they're a little bit smaller, sometimes they're separated. So we're actually kind of lucky that our first cave entrance downstairs has one. Trying to get this juicy berry thing, but It looks like it's too close to the portal. Sometimes you'll have that where items are blocking certain exits and entrances into the caves. So you're going to want to make sure that you don't accidentally click your way out. So we'll stay in the caves a little bit longer. Our hunger's not doing too good. Our handbat is beginning to spoil. That we're, like I said, we're looking for that exit out into the wilderness. And if we can't find it, it's not a huge problem. We can just continue on to get whatever light bulbs are left. So I just want to be able to show you. What I can here about the light bulb trick that is going to help you into the future. So if you manage to find the orange field, basically what it is as you find it, you're going to see a gigantic collection of light bulbs in the caves, and those are just going to be in a massive, massive area. So just for the fact of, not taking forever into the caves, I'm just going to pick up what is left here, and we're going to go back upstairs, and I'm going to show you a quick little easy trick to do with a pig. So first up, I'm going to show you an easy tactic, and you don't necessarily have to do what I'm about to do. If you're too afraid, or if you just don't really care so much about needing to get poop, or if you already have a lot of rot, that's okay as well too. But let's go back upstairs where we just were. And generally, if you're lost, or if you're like, okay, which entrance way did I come through? Because you're going to see a bunch of different exits. That's why it's so essential to place yourself a fire pit near the way that you came in. Not necessarily just for the fact of making sure that you have enough light and heat when you come in, but also for the fact of remembering where you left. And that's why it's so important. So before we leave, let's warm up, put our fuel on the fire, put our umbrella on, and you're going to only want to use your umbrella and keep it on when it's raining, because if you keep it on the entire time, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And there is ways to repair your umbrella, but it's not necessarily so easy. But that is exactly why Hound's Teeth become very important late game, and we're going to talk about that in a second when we go upstairs. So as we're down here, we're going to go quickly over here and look at what you see next to these rabbit hutches. So the rabbit hutches will always have 8 pieces of grass and 8 pieces of carrots in here, so they're good food to just leave alone unless you absolutely need it. In this case, we definitely do not. So let's go back upstairs and continue on our run up there. Now, if you're in the caves and you didn't manage to get any light bulbs, or if you got like 1 or 2, feel free to keep them on you for if you need any more fuel for your lantern or for your helmet. So because in this case, you're not going to want to use them up for what we're about to do. So we found our way back above ground. It's springtime. It's not raining, and it's not always raining in spring, so don't always worry about that. It's not like it's always just going to be consistently raining, but it will. The days that it's not raining in spring are the days that you're going to want to try to get most of your work done without, for example, if you're fighting things, or if you're venturing around, because when it starts to rain, you're going to want to be somewhat closer to base, or somewhere in the vicinity to where you can make sure that you get yourself enough shelter if you do not have your umbrella yet. So as you can see, our rot has spoiled. So unfortunately, that's why I mentioned that the next recipe that we're going to be learning here when we get a chance to get some corn is basically an unlimited berry. So you're going to have a lot of berries though, so I will be honest with you, I don't necessarily worry about it too much. In spring, it's always good. Let's continue to try to get ourselves another handbat if we can. But unfortunately, in this case, we are out of pig butts. So we do have 1 left. I forgot that we did have that extra one. So let's go ahead and make ourselves 1 more handbat, and we're gonna have to get ourselves more. And I'm gonna show you exactly what to do here. So let's fill our bellies up. Take the berry. Put our hat back on. Take this rod out of here. Put this back here. Oops. Put this berry back here. And sometimes if you can't drop it in here, that's why I suggest using the quick drop mod. And it basically okay, I just ate it. It lets you automatically drop the item on the ground where you're standing. And I just ate it again. Sorry, I don't know if I actually have the quick drop mod on. I might not even have it on. Okay, so it's shift and right click. Sorry about that. I thought it was left click in there. And the quick drop mod is awesome. I really suggest getting it because, as you can see, accidentally I've eaten 3 or 4 pieces of berries without willing to do so. So now you don't necessarily have to have the powder cake, which I'm talking about. And powder cake will last thousands of years and it will never expire. Berries will only last 3 days before they expire. But the thing is, we have all these extra berries, so we could always just consistently do that. The only thing is, it's not really ideal because you're going to end up wasting berries as you go along further. So, you know, it's nighttime. We have the rocks. Why don't we try and make our very first farm if we can? But the thing is we're missing poop, right? So we have some poop left over. We had the 4 from before, but we're going to need to get more. And that's what's going to come in handy right now. So grab yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of monster meat. And once again, if I did show this in one of my earlier videos, I'm sorry. I might have forgot. There's always so many different things that we go through, but it's really important to remember to do this because I might have showed you how to get a ham bat, but I definitely did not show you how to get unlimited poop. And this is what comes in very handy. Light bulbs count as a veggie. And a were pig, when it eats one light bulb, or when it eats a veggie, will continue to eat more and more and more and more and more until it basically passes out from eating too many. And that's why it's so important to have our little pig houses next door, as we mentioned before. We also haven't finished them up just yet with what we want it to look like, and I'll show you that in a second. So let's go ahead to our little friend here, and you're gonna, if you don't have the shift double click mod, you're gonna just hand feed him. So one at a time, he's just gonna individually eat the meat, and as he transforms, you're gonna take all the light bulbs you just got and drop them on the ground. But remember, we wanna keep a few extra light bulbs, so let's keep like maybe 6, and then we're gonna drop these on the ground. And there you go. And as he eats them, he's going to poop because were-pigs can eat as much as they can and consistently will poop. And just be careful because as soon as that drops, he's going to come back and attack us. But that's exactly what we want, is for him to attack us. Now, as we, you know, fight the pig and get all the stuff, we have now converted all of our light bulbs into manure, and we've also killed and got ourselves either a fresh new ham bat or the ability to just take the pig butts and convert them into another helmet. And that is a very important resource for getting yourself poop. So we have a stack of poop. We can come back here anytime if we go back down and get more light bulbs. In the next video, we're going to show you how to make yourself tooth traps, which are going to come very important very shortly as things start to rain on you. So now take your light bulbs, put them inside of your fridge. Take your meat, put them inside the fridge. Take your pig butts, put them where they need to go. And we're going to take our manure and we're going to make ourselves our very first farm. And farms are awesome, and they're going to see why in the next video. But now for now, I'm going to go ahead and let's place it right here in the very middle of everything. And this is where we're going to end this video. So in the next video, we're going to show you how important farms are. We're going to show you how to make tooth traps. And we're going to continue on down the list of more important things to learn during springtime. So once again, if you're enjoying these videos, guys, feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch TV, check me out on All Fun and Games. And you can follow me there and ask me any questions you like. But once again, in the comments, leave if you have any questions or if you have anything that you want me to follow up in the next video. But I will see you guys in the next one.